Good morning, everybody. Happy Hump Day, April 6th, 2022. I'm in my 365 gifts. I'm having a little rough day. I'm in my leg warmers. I woke up and my edema came back. It's slowly starting to come out of my face. But I'm on my second round of leg warmers, and the girls are just like, got Hannah wrapped over here, and Harley's, they're just making sure I'm taken care of. So I have a feeling I'm going to sit here and do a lot of devotions, prayers, sleeping, drugs. Because my head pain is pretty bad too, so it is what it is. No sense in getting upset over it. I'm at peace with life. Another day. And this is going to be fun. The number for today's devotion out of 365 gifts is 96. That's 5 threes. And today's title is Easter. Jesus is coming soon. They will kill him, and on the third day he will be raised to life. And the disciples were filled with grief. Matthew 17, verse 23. An empty grave. An angelic proclamation. Women in shock. Disciples reinvigorated with hope. Guards in a state of confusion. These are glimpses of the first Easter Sunday. Can you picture the expressions on the faces of the women as they ran to tell the others? Can you imagine the fear in the hearts of the guards as they conveyed the news to their superiors? The events of that day were life-changing for all involved, and they changed the course of history from that day forward. The resurrection of Jesus brought hope to the hopeless, life to the lifeless, and joy to those in mourning. It continues to add the perfect plot twist to literature's most compelling story and changes hearts in the process. Easter, what a gift. Easter is my favorite day of the year, Father. It's a day when I celebrate the resurrection of your Son. When Jesus came forth from the tomb, it signaled to all humankind and to my heart that his story was real. Every word he'd spoken was true. The resurrection sealed the deal, both in history and in my life. I praise you for Resurrection Sunday, Father. Amen. And I'm going to add a little bit about my life. For 18 and a half years, I had an accounting practice. And the way the calendar fell, I missed a lot of Easters because I work 7 days a week during tax season, because that was what man demanded of that profession that I selected as a tax collector. Well, you know what? Man was wrong. Man was wrong to inflict that pain and suffering on professions like mine, because Easter is about his resurrection. And I always went through Lent, and I always went through the rituals. But it's not just about that. It's about so much more. And I didn't realize how much more until I arrived in the Florida Keys and felt a sense of peace I have never felt in my entire life. Even going to Homestead, which is maybe 3 hours away? I think that night it took 3 hours to get there, the night of my eviction. I wasn't home there. didn't feel home. As soon as it said, welcome to the Florida Keys, I felt home. Now, I always felt like that in Elkhart, because Elkhart, Indiana is where I was born and raised. But I've never felt home more than Elkhart than arriving here. It's unbelievable. And this resort that I just came to on a wing and a prayer with a portion on my debit card and a portion on my girlfriend's, so that I could stay here the first night. And then others donated so I could stay longer to figure things out. Until I could get the Mustang sold and use those proceeds to continue on with my ministry is what I'm using them for. Because every day my ministry is growing, my numbers are growing, so I'm putting my money that I'm going to call it blood money as far as I'm concerned. It wasn't a gift. It was a gift with strings. Then I had to sell it. I don't even need to go into that. It's not even, that is water under the dam right now. It doesn't matter. But when you go through what I've gone through, and you arrive at a place that you didn't know was here, you didn't know existed, it reminds you of your past, present, and future. I'm not even here a few days, and my creativity is on steroids like I was at La Casa. It's amazing when you are where you need to be. You're at peace. When you turn your life over and you surrender everything to Him, you feel peace. You are at peace. And I haven't watched Joyce Meyer in a while. But after my suicide attempt, I watched a ton of her. And a former classmate at Elkhart Central, Cicely Rice, suggested it. And I took it and ran with it. So thank you for that, Cicely, if you are watching. Or if somebody knows her, please thank her for me. I know I thanked her, but anyway, she's been doing it for 45 years. And she's amazing at what she does. But what I don't understand is, what does she not see in the mirror that God saw when He made her, that she didn't see? I don't understand why women take their appearance and change it. Now, if you're in, I understand if you're in an accident or you get some kind of impairment, physical impairment, I get that. I understand that. Trust me, I was all about, okay, you're going to take 9 teeth out, you're going to take 4 and then 5. I am going to have front teeth, right? Because I'm not leaving without front teeth. Or you're going to give me wax teeth and I'll just wear those for the next whatever. I don't care. I mean, so I was willing to adjust to it, which I have. And, of course, I can't even remotely do any kind of dental work. First of all, they said 6 to 9 months after I had them extracted. Well, and when I have head pain, well, I'm not going to inflict any more pain on my body. I can't do it. I physically cannot. Because my pain level is already off the charts. And if my loading dose is gone from 2 to 4, and now it's going to be up to 6, I don't need to inflict any more pain and suffering on my body than it's already going through right now. So anyway, going back to Joyce Meyer, she was a beautiful woman. And she had that hair that was curly back then, and her hair is still kind of curly now, or was she makes it maybe flat ironed, I don't know. She was a beautiful woman. She doesn't even look the same, and I don't understand. Her whole mouth has changed. Her mouth was perfect before. From what I could see, I didn't see anything wrong with her. And for somebody that's been doing the Bible for 45 years, what part of it did she not understand about being good with thyself? God made us all perfect in His eyes. I don't understand why, if you've been in the Bible for 45 years, and trust me, I just started reading it in its entirety in January, but I'm not stupid, and I have had it in my life, my whole life, even if I wasn't always practicing some of the teachings that were in there. And I kind of did this and did my own thing. Not anymore. I've been celibate for over a year. And I turned my life completely over to Him. I've never wanted to change my appearance. I've never wanted to put Botox in my body. I don't wear makeup. Half the time I don't comb my hair. Today I was a disaster, so I pulled it up in a top knot. I couldn't possibly come on my camera and have my hair. It was, but who knows? You never know with me. I have done it before. But there's just so many people out there that are not happy with their appearance. And why? Is it life that changed it? Did somebody say something to you that hurt you? I know that I had a friend do that to one of my girlfriends, and she had moles on her face, and it upset her so much and made her so self-conscious. She went and had surgery and had them all removed. It just made me sick, and it broke my heart. That's how cruel people are, and it's not okay. That's not what God taught us. This is how we're going to repay God for sacrificing His only begotten Son, by being mean to others so they have surgery, or that dang devil trying to inflict pain and suffering on you and tell you you're not beautiful. You are beautiful. Every person on earth is beautiful. And I can see beauty in every person I meet. I can see love in every person I meet. Is this how we want to repay Him? It's not how I want to repay Him. That's why every place I go, I make a Garden of Eden. Or I do my share of using my two hands in the land that He's provided. Every place, every house that I've ever sat at and been at, I've worked on to make it a more beautiful place. I've brought the birds there, and they're already here. So when He brought me here to this beautiful resort, I knew I was home. The girls are home, even though she'll cry like a baby when I leave to walk down wherever. The pool for me to, decide before I jump into bed, I want to go get in the hot tub and swim like I used to at the Coco Cabana. And I've done it, and I've been the only one in it. It's like being home. And the girls, Harley wanted to go to Sunset last night. She normally lets that be my private time with Hannah. And she wanted to go, and it was great. And we talked to this couple from Scotland, which was super duper cool. And learned about their government, which I need to research. I am going to do that today, because it was interesting what they were talking to me about. But it's, I've got the landscape, I've got the woods, I've got Hannah's running and playing again. She wasn't barely doing that except in the house. I mean, they were restricted. They are not restricted here. So I just think when you completely surrender to him, completely surrender, you're happy with everything in your life. And if you're not, you don't necessarily have to do cosmetic surgery in order to alter it. How about you just alter your mindset and give it a Roto-Rooter? I don't know. That's what I've done. I mean, I can see in the mirror what's going on with my body. And when it starts getting full, I know it's edema every time. Because I'm not a heavy eater. Now, I have eaten a little bit more lately because I'm doing landscape work. But prior to that, I wasn't. Problem is, though, is that's not good for my brain. And that also is going to play when I don't eat a lot of food, which I try to eat like small portions throughout the day. Me and the girls do. We snack little small amounts, whether it's nuts or fruit or cheese or sausage or something. Enough protein, mainly protein. But you have to find your center where you're at peace. Why is it that you feel that you need to wear makeup? Do you like to wear makeup because it enhances your features? Or do you wear it because you saw it in a magazine and they were pretty, so you want to look like them? What about looking like you? I don't know. Never been a person that ran with the fads. Never been my thing. I look at it. Never been real thrilled about a lot of the different trends. Definitely like the preppy trend myself personally, because it's very crisp and clean, and I've always liked that professionalism in clothing, so to speak, and I like my fun clothes. But clothing, totally can project your image, your personality, and then you couple that with what's going on with your face, if you're smiling, if you're upset, if you're sad, whatever. I mean, it's amazing when you just look at a person, how you can kind of sum them up and then get confirmation once they start talking to you. It's actually, for me, it's always been kind of a game, with getting to know people and their mannerisms and everything. I don't know if you've ever done the same thing, but it's kind of fun to say, okay, this looks like a fun person. And then they come up and they start talking, and it's like, oh my gosh, ding, 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 jackpot, they're super fun. We're going to be friends forever. So hopefully you run across some people like that today. I love it here at the resort because I'm talking to all these fun people. A number of people have talked about them having Rottweilers, which is super duper cool. So I don't know. It's just, despite my physical ailments right now, and it's hard sometimes to go down to the beach, especially with two ratties. Now Hannah's getting a lot better. She's on her shock collar when we go out now. It just keeps her in line whether I shock her. It's all I have to do is show it to her most of the time, but she understands and she listens, and then we don't have to use it. So it's mainly for training purposes right now, and it's keeping her to be a better service dog for me and for Harley, because she's had to keep an eye on both of us. I'm holding on to Harley and holding on to the rail to go up the stairs here. and I couldn't, there, the rail, everything at the house was just not conducive for my health, nor Harley's. Now we're in air conditioning when we go up the stairs, so it's so much easier on both of us. It's a godsend. It's like he heard, even though we never prayed for it. It's just amazing how he unspoken prayers. But I've never been a complainer. It's not my thing. Unless it's something that's just so heartbreaking, like this world. You know, ever since I got sick, I kept saying I want to do something to save this world. And everybody kept saying, don't worry about everybody else, worry about yourself. Well, that was the devil. I was on his mission, and the devil was trying to stop. It was funny watching Joyce Meyer this morning. It just perplexed it. Her appearance and why. She had this black suit on with these kind of poofy sleeves that were floral. Little floral cutouts were quite beautiful. She's got a great sense of style for her. Not my thing, but looked great on her. There was just something about it, almost like these ballooned cuffs when she was talking. She had great energy. She had great flow. But I just couldn't get past the appearance and the whys of that. But she talked about your robe of righteousness, walking in peace. And you know, that's the one thing when I had my accounting practice I never had. I never had peace. I've never known peace in my life until arriving in the Florida Keys with me and my 2 girls. And I've gotten the most peace right here at this resort. And they are so relaxed here. It is unbelievable. How could I not love this place? How could I not thank him for leading me here? I don't know what tomorrow will bring, but he does, and I'm just waiting for the next adventure. Just like this morning, I couldn't video. I had to reboot my laptop again, which that's something that I need to start looking into getting. This laptop is very old, and I'm having issues with it, and I don't want to be down. So I rebooted it and was watching Joyce Meyer. Wow, that's what I was supposed to do. It's amazing how it all works out. You just, okay, stop fighting it. Stop fighting it, Natalie. Let it go. He's got a plan. You need to watch TBN. You need to watch Joyce Meyer. You haven't watched her in a while. There's a reason. So, maybe think about that today. And when you look at yourself in the mirror of why you do some of the things that you do. Because when you look at yourself in the mirror, it's amazing how when you get that reflection back, how reality really kicks in. And there was a point in my life when I was still at Green Acres, before I had moved here, when the edema had set in and my weight had gone up to 186 pounds. I've never been 186 pounds in my life. I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror because it wasn't me. It was those pharmaceuticals making me sicker. And all they were doing is giving me more drugs on top of that. Well, I stopped listening. And I told my primary physician, I cannot take these. They're making me sicker and I'm gaining weight. Well, Well, he heard the cries for help and agreed, and was totally my cheerleader with the holistic medicine. So the edema now is the stress, the undue stress that continues to wreak havoc on my life. This is the stress that the doctors warned me about in the hospital on April 15th of 2019. You will die with a healthy heart. If you continue on with the stress. So even though yesterday I didn't really feel any stress, apparently overnight, stress did a number on my body. Because I woke up very puffy, and I had indentations all over from where I slept. So be happy with you, and don't let anyone steal your joy. If that's the one thing that I can say at the end of this, that is the most important, is don't let anyone steal your joy. That's the devil. If they're trying to steal your joy or add more fuel to a situation than trying to extinguish it, that's the devil. That's the devil. You armor yourself up with him, and he will help you get through it. It's unreal, Joyce Meyer, certain things that she was saying today. She's a wise woman. She's super duper fun to listen to too, and I love her personality. Just don't understand her whole cosmetic surgery. I can't digest that. But that's if that makes her feel better, then that's her thing. But why not be okay with what God gave us all? But when she started, it was almost like she was layering you with your helmet of, helmet of salvation. And I'm like, well, mine hurts right now. my helmet that's on my head feels like it's just massive pain. And then your robe of righteousness and peace under your feet. And there was other things that she added in, but it was so beautiful. And I'm not sure if I come across the title of that, I'll put it in my comments, because it was a really great, it was a really great program to watch this morning, since my computer was having its issues. Wow. It's kind of like beating a dead horse, and sometimes I catch on quickly, and other times it's like, I'm waiting to hear him say, Natalie, it's not working. You need to pay attention to what's on the TV and reboot your computer and let it take its time, because by then you'll get the information that you need. And that's the program I'm on. Full surrender, completely at peace. And the devil's trying to harm me yet again. So there's just certain things he's going to make sure. And others I just have to go with the flow. So don't let anybody steal your joy today. Stay tuned, I've got more coming up. Bye. Love to all bunches and bunches.